Hello, welcome back. Piononos de Bacalao. You heard me? Piononos. This traditional appetizer is inspired from the Puerto Rican Pionono, which is a sweet plantain that's raw and filled with picadillo, which is ground meat, Puerto Rican style. But the one I'm creating today is what we call with bacalao or cod fish. I designed this to share with you, inspired by this uh, traditional Puerto Rican appetizer. But before I start, go and hit the like button. Share this video so others can also benefit from this creation. Subscribe if you haven't. But what I'm interested on is you writing a comment and sharing your opinion. I might learn something too. So go nowhere. Let's create. You're going to need some toothpicks. See? You're going to need several. Oops. You're going to need a sharp knife. And of course, you're going to need your oil. And I'm going to go with vegetable oil. And plantains. And the plantains, you want them ripe. You don't want them black, soggy. And this one might be in that range, but you want them ripe. And a couple eggs, which are going to be battering together. So you're going to peel these babies. Cut. Cut. I always like to put them like this when I'm peeling, just to be safe. You can hold it like that too, but I like to put the pressure down. Make it small. Cut. Take this baby out. Just peel it out. See how easy? Ooh, they smell so sweet. Carefully, you're going to cut them in length. You have to do it very carefully. This is what happens when you deal with a soggy one. It's more complicated. You have to carefully cut them. I even changed the position. But see how soggy? You have to be very careful. See, this one might not work for this because... But I'm going to fry them anyhow I need them. Like regular fried plantain. But this one is not good. So for the cut, I have a fresh cut. If this was the salted cut like we buy in Puerto Rico, you have to go through several processes of getting the salt out. But because this one is fresh, wild cut, I'm going to have to use salt in this case. But in addition to this beautiful cod, I also have some other ingredients. I have some chive, which I'm going to chop. I'm going to mince some garlic. I have some chopped onion. I got some cilantro. I do have the salt that I'm going to be using. Make sure it's fine, regardless if it's Himalayan pink salt or sea salt or the regular salt. Some black ground pepper. I have some smoked paprika. A little bit of turmeric. See how beautiful? In addition to that, I'm going to have a tomato. I'm going to make my own tomato sauce by grinding this baby. I don't like to use canned tomato sauce without those preservatives. This is fresh, good to go, ripe. So, salt. Pepper. And you do exactly the same in both sides. So I have a pan, and I'm going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Something that is key here, this is not my traditional bacalao guisao. I have a video that shows you how to cook bacalao guisao using sofrito and other kind of stuff. You might be able to use sofrito here too, but this is not guisado. It's going to be thicker because of the juice I'm going to apply to it. It's for the pionono. So I'm going to add the onions. Get that baby flowing for a few seconds. Already smelling good. And I'm going to add the garlic. You don't want the garlic burn, so you're going to do this for a few seconds. You see my hands, I'm going to be eating this myself. Just a few seconds. Heat is high. Let me move it to couple notches above medium so things don't fry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding the cod. I cut it into 4 pieces. What I'm doing is I'm starting to cook this baby. So you want to make sure it's cooked. After a few seconds of flipping them around, you're going to add, because you want them cooked, it's going to take a few minutes. You want to add the tomato sauce. And if you feel you need more tomato, you can do that. You can add more. You have the turmeric. Just add a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. See, just a tiny bit. And you're going to add the smoked paprika. This one you're going to add about half a tablespoon. Now you're going to add the chives. What you want is for the cut to cook relatively well so you can break it down a little bit. Let's do this for 2 or 3 minutes. It's been about 3 minutes, and what I've been doing is I've been breaking it down so it doesn't become just a fillet. I want them to become, into pieces, so I can fill out those piononos. What I'm going to do now, as it's cooking, time to bring the cilantro, which I cut. Give it that air flavor to this fish. Smells delicious, by the way. And you let this go maybe for about 3 minutes. Doesn't take long to cook this cod because I had it out of the refrigerator for about 20-30 minutes, getting to room temperature, so the heat transfer well. And once you do that, it's about ready to go. Then you put it aside. So I had this pan, high heat, just to make sure this stuff is hot. I'm going to reduce the heat. I had the high heat for about 2 minutes. I'm going to reduce it to a couple notches above medium. I use the vegetable oil. I have it hot here. It's about maybe a 1/4 inch deep. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding the plantains. And I'm going to cook them somewhere between 4 or 5 minutes. When you move them out, I use a spatula, that way they don't break. Do it carefully. Move it to a plate with paper towels so the grease, dry out a little bit. What you do next, you're going to fold them. And you're going to put a stick at the top just to keep the fold together. And about 3 or 4 sticks at the bottom, so when you add the meat, it doesn't fall through, for the most part. I was actually originally going to use this. I decided not to. Spending the ass, and I don't want to cut plantains and whatever, so I'm going to go the traditional way, which is frying these babies again. So what you do now, get the cut, start adding it there. Doesn't have to be pretty, by the way. It never is. See how it sticks together? You don't want to fill it all the way to the top. You fill it about 3/4. Because these are snacks. This is not a meal. You can tweak this piece. And then you add some egg on top. So things stick together. Put a little bit of egg here and there. Have the same pot with the pan with the oil. And what I'm going to do is a high heat. I'm going to lower it to medium high. Going to add these babies. I'm going old school here, by the way. I'm not going for beauty. I'm going for practicality. And you're going to fry them for about 2 minutes, maybe 3, if that. What you do is you grab a little bit of that oil, put on the top, so the eggs cook. And now I'm going to move them out and put it in a plate with some napkins so they dry a little bit. Going to let them cool down. See the plate? They're beautiful. Important step, before you eat these piononos, make sure you take those toothpicks out. You don't want to eat these. They're going to hold together anyhow, so take that all the toothpicks out, okay? Enjoy.